If you're relocating from Africa, Nigeria, Kenya, Ghana to Germany, then I'll tell you a few things you must know, starting from your arrival to your registration, opening a bank account, and of course the culture shock. And I'll be sharing this to help you save money and avoid scam. And of course you need to sit to the end to get this. Come right in. Many people think that as soon as you get the visa and arrive Germany, then all is fine. Actually, that's where it starts. As soon as you arrive the airport, the real journey in Germany begins. The first thing you must know, finding a house in Germany is pretty hard. And a lot of people start with the temporary accommodation. So for you to arrive, you have to already find a temporary accommodation. A lot of people make use of the Airbnb, sometimes hotel to get by. And then sometimes short-term rental apartments. One thing you should never do not send money to any agent without viewing or seeing this apartment. Otherwise, you're going to fall for scam. Be careful. And remember, the reason why you need an accommodation is because you need to register yourself. So this could be different in your country of origin where you're coming from. There is something called the Anmeldung. So it's the address registration. When you find this temporary accommodation, you would need to ask them if you're able to register yourself in that address. And this is because when you're registered there, you're able to get your tax ID and you're able to open a bank account, because then the government and the city knows that somebody like this has just arrived Germany. And that's when the real step to looking for an accommodation starts, because the temporary accommodation is for a short period of time and for people like you who are just arriving Germany for the very first time. So do you know the name of the document you need to ask your landlord for? It is called Wohnungsgeberbescheinigung, a landlord confirmation of moving, simply put in English. Remember, for you to do this registration, it has to be within 14 days after arrival in Germany. But hey, don't fret. So if you're moving to a big city, you'd have to check their website for available appointments. In this situation, that's when, of course, the authorities know that it's hard most times to find an appointment, and then that should be fine. However, keep it at the back of your mind that is after 14 days after arriving Germany that you should be registered in the city, your city municipality. For instance, if I'm moving to Frankfurt, and of course if I arrive Frankfurt and move into my temporary accommodation, I should be registered with that address, and the authorities can send letters to that address until I move to another long-term accommodation. Let me now surprise you. Germany is not as cashless as you think. Do you know that there are some stores where you don't pay with credit card? They ask you to pay with cash. So for instance, for anyone who is watching this and coming from Ghana, Nigeria, from Africa, and then you'd like to visit some African stores or even some Asian stores to buy things like African foods and of course some other things that you would need. Some of those stores do not accept credit card, but you have to pay with cash. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Oh, but Germany should be cashless. Anyways, that's how it is. So get prepared. Public transportation. You have the trains, we have the long distance trains, we have the underground trains, we have the street trains, and what have you. So as much as it's excellent, you meet up with your trains. Sometimes they're in time, sometimes not. But then it's really very strict. So if you don't have your ticket before boarding a train, you could be fined up to 60 euros. I'm sure 60 euros is enough to buy you a meal. So you don't want to give up that. So what do you need to do? You'd need to buy your ticket. Usually, since you're just arriving new, I'm just going to tell you where you can find this ticket. Now, if you're arriving at the Frankfurt airport, there is an information center where you could ask questions. Otherwise, you could look around. At the train station, you will see all these ticket booths where you can put in your card and then you can buy a ticket for the destination where you're headed. And guess what? I know you're thinking it's in German, but hey, there are also other languages, so you can access these ticket booths in English language or whatever language it is of your home country. But please make sure you do not enter the train, enter the bus without a valid ticket. Emphasis on valid. And I'm going to end the video with this particular point: culture shock. Yes, I'm sure that while preparing your visa application, after you have made up your mind that you're moving to Germany, You may have researched a lot about Germany, you may have asked a lot of questions, but this is one thing you should know, and I'm sure you've heard about: Germans are punctual. Don't be surprised that a German will invite you for a birthday party that starts at 7 p.m. and you should be there at 7 p.m. because if you arrive at 10 p.m., of course, you would go back home. It's not the African time. They are very punctual, and you should not take this personal. You should just take it as a process of learning. And hey, that also begins at the airport. So if your train leaves for 7:45, be sure to be at the train station before 7:45. It doesn't matter if you have bought your ticket, it means you have to buy a new ticket. But don't take this personal. It just teaches you that you need to be punctual, and of course it's a way to boost you up and prepare you for the journey ahead of you in Germany, and also with the office of the authorities in Germany. Before I say Auf Wiedersehen, which is goodbye in German, this is one thing you should not do, a mistake you must avoid. If you get letters from the government, please make sure you open it. Do not leave them and then prepare to plan, okay, I'm going to open it that weekend, because some of them could come with deadlines, some of them could come with your appointment, and you should not miss your appointment at the immigration office. Also, don't overstay, because some of them would come with Mahnung for those who would miss probably paying a particular amount they should pay or missing their appointments. Of course, the bureaucracy, it's something else that we will make in a different video entirely, but make sure you do not forget to open your letters. And of course, I mentioned letters from the government, but then I think you should also check your letterbox, because you don't know what's there. What if it's your employment letter? I'll see you in my next video. Bye.